transfer window is shut. It's obviously a busy time for all kinds of agents. Let's speak to a top one, Chris Nathaniel. Hi, Chris, how are you?
I'm not too bad, Rob, and yourself?
Yeah, good, thanks. Well, do you sort of need to lie down in a darkened room after a transfer window, do you? Is it absolutely chaotic?
It's absolutely chaotic, Rob, and it happened to be extremely chaotic for me up until sort of 10 o'clock. I was trying to get a deal through, which fell apart at about 10:30.
That's because your fax machine was wonky or whatever it was.
It's a nightmare, you know, because you spend so much time negotiating and talking to clubs way ahead of the transfer window. And for some crazy reason, everyone leaves it to the very last moment to try and get the deal done. All of a sudden, it aligns everyone to think, oh shit, we need to really take this seriously now. And it's like, well, we've had 2 months to get this together, you know, and it is an extremely stressful situation, you know, and but you know, some of my best moments have been on transfer deadline day. So it's exciting for the supporters and everyone that isn't doing all the work. But I think for clubs and agents, I'm sure it must be a complete and utter nightmare.
I think, you know, I think that's one of the things that football fans always, it's like, why are we leaving it till 11 o'clock on the last minute? I mean, so what you're saying is it's not your fault.
No, it's not. It's not. It's, you know, it's, you know, because you do as an agent, you prepare way in advance, you know, for these deals. I mean, I remember one that I was preparing the deal in the summer, towards the end of the previous season. And we didn't get the deal done until, as I said, about 9 o'clock on the night of transfer deadline day. And it was like, well, we've been speaking about this for like 3-4 months. You know, why leave it till right now to finally home in and say, right, we need to get this done. So I think it's a thing of clubs trying to get the best deal that they can. And,
sure,
you know, we have to get the best deal for our clients. You know,
sure.
It's a normal situation. So it's really about who blinks first, I suppose.
Tell us a bit about your clients. I'm just looking at behind you there. You said it's Rio's shirt, the number 5. Who else have you got there on the wall?
Yeah, John Terry, he's championship winning season with Chelsea. These are 2 individuals that I've worked with in the past during their playing days, and amazing sportsmen, as we know, and great at what they do. And, you know, 2 sportsmen that are from a bygone era where they didn't ever want to lose. I remember I could never speak to Rio if he'd lost a game. If he'd lost a game on a Saturday afternoon, forget about talking to Rio on that Saturday. We'll have to wait till probably Monday or Tuesday when he's calmed down a bit to talk to him. So, you know, both of those were great individuals and great people to work with.
Apart from negotiating contracts, what kind of relationship do you have with these stars, and what kind of things are you doing? And do they ring you up at 3 in the morning and go, hang on, my plumbing's just gone, or my shower's broken, can you help me? Or what kind of thing happens?
No, I don't get involved in that side of it, Rob. That'll drive me mad. But there are other people that are quite happy to do that side of things. My thing is more sort of football contracts, commercial contracts. That's mainly my focus. All the other stuff of day to day. You have other people that do that, but, you know, people like Rio and John, they do all that stuff themselves. They're, you know, quite sufficient individuals in that respect.
It's not just football, is it? It's music as well. How do they compare? Give us a few of your clients music-wise, and how do they compare in terms of your dealings with them? Are they easier? Are they more difficult, etc.?
I think with musicians, what's easier with them is that they're sort of more self-sufficient. You know, they'll get up and go to the studio and write their songs and got a producer there. They can get on with things. I think footballers are used to a structure being set up for them. You know, they know when they go into the club, their kit's there, this is that, and everything's there for them. Musicians know they have to create that structure themselves. They go into the studio themselves, not expecting anyone to organise that for them. Once they're told, look, you're at the studio, they go in and they're much more self-sufficient. I think with footballers, they can be self-sufficient, but it's just the way that things have been set up for them. You know, you can imagine if you're, you know, from a schoolboy, you go into a football club and everything's being done for you.
Sure.
You're in that space of waiting, well, what should I do next? Because they're always used to being instructed, even their passports they don't ever hold on to their passports, you know. So basic things like that, you know, it's like, what do I do? I mean, we had a famous situation. I'm sure he won't be upset about me saying this, but with Ashley Cole, we were doing a deal with him with Jay-Z, and Ashley needed to get back to London, and he missed his flight, and he didn't know what to do. You know, we had one of our restaurateur guys with him, fortunately, and he said, well, what do I do now? Because he'd never been used to, well, you then go to the desk and then sort of say, well, look, I missed my flight. Can you give me the next flight? So, you know, so they're so used to everything being done for them that when they're challenged with that, like it would be with any of us, you know, we haven't done something before, be like, well, what do I do now?
Do they come to you or do you go to them? As in, do you go actively looking for, you know, the next young thing, et cetera, or does it now in your position, do people come to you?
We get a bit of both, Rob. For me, I always want to get involved in a client that I can bring added value to. I never want to be in a situation where I'm with a client, just a passenger on the bus, as it were. You know, I want to be in a position where I'm actively doing something that's actually helping their career in whichever area it might be. So sometimes we do target, you know, for example, Usain Bolt, we targeted him. You know, I went to Jamaica for a day to convince his team that he had in Jamaica that I was the guy for Usain Bolt. So, and that was after I sat down. I was in my office one day and I was watching the Olympic finals in Beijing, and he, you know, again won the 100 meters and set world record. And I said, that guy needs to be on our roster. And the following week, I was out to Jamaica, and I hadn't known anybody, but I said, I'm going to hunt this guy down. And fortunately, we did. And some months later, we got him to sign with us at Loughborough Athletics, Loughborough University, where he was training. And that was a great moment.
Are you still as hungry? Do you still get as excited about the business, or do you get ground down with it? Have you done it all?
No, Rob. I love seeing talent emerge. I love bringing out new talent. You know, I love the challenge of this. It's something that I'm fortunate enough to be paid for, but I love it. I'm passionate about it, and I see myself doing this for many, many years to come. And it does. You do get down sometimes. You know, things go wrong, deals break down, and stuff like that. But you have to pick yourself back up and you go again, and you know. And one thing about me is I've got patience, and I keep going and keep going.
Is there any room on your roster for a sort of like vaguely greying kind of TV presenter that's, you know, obviously still brilliant, just people don't quite realise it still?
Rob, you're brilliant at what you do, so there'll always be space for someone like you. Don't worry about that.
They think we've scripted that, Chris, but we haven't. Hey, listen, that's absolutely brilliant, mate. Lovely talking to you, and take care of yourself.
Thanks, Rob. All the best.